And I'm going to switch over. It says I'm live. Hey, welcome everyone once again to Astronomy Daily Live. It is 2 hours UTC, and once again, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've live streamed from the office here in sort of the comfort zone. Man, it's been definitely been a wild few days. Had some clear nights, and so I've been out trying to collect photons, and been sort of a roller coaster the past few days with something weird is going on with the system, and yeah, it's really sort of a bummer, but I'm working it out slowly. And as you can see, I am sharing my screen. So I think it was the last time that at least I attempted a live stream here. What I usually do is about quarter to the hour, I turn everything on and get ready to go live on the hour, right? And so I plugged in my webcam and nothing happened, and I'm sort of like, okay, well, so I start wiggling wires and pulling things around and all that, and realized that the USB cable extender that I have been using for, man, I think I've had this extender for long time. There are these little thin little wires, right? And right where the wires go into the USB connector itself, one of the 4 wires was definitely broken, right? It just broke right off, and I could sort of jiggle it around to make it work, but yeah, that is no bueno at all. So I've ordered a couple of other extenders, some 6-foot ones. I think I ordered 2 of them or 3 of them or 4 of them. I don't remember exactly how many, but I should have that hopefully within the next day or 2. So hopefully, not that it matters all that much, if you actually see my ugly head here or not, but sometimes that makes it a little bit better. So for at least today, and let's see, stream is for January 29th, 2019. Wow, so we're almost at the end of January here. It's pretty amazing. So all right, well, before I keep going, I just want to say howdy to Bobby on the panel. Hey, Bobby.
Hey, what's up?
What's going on over there?
Nothing much here. I'm just like helping a person with a fire stick and stuff.
Cool.
He's coming back. He's coming back tomorrow to get his fire stick. But I also, if Jills will be here today, I'd like to ask him about if that loophole that allows you to convert, use a Windows 7 and Windows 8 key to use 10 on. I think that would be great.
Ooh, yeah, that sounds a little sneaky there. All right.
Yeah. Let me text Jill, so I got his number and stuff.
Cool. So yeah, I also wanted to say howdy to Deep Sky Dude in the chat. Welcome. So it's been clear there too the past couple of days. So Yeah, yeah, it's been clear here. That's you know, actually one of the hallmarks of being here, and that's actually the number one. Well, I guess the number one B reason why I'm here in southeastern Arizona. Uh, reason one A is because it's dark. Reason one B is because it's clear much of the time, and then way down on the list, still relatively important. But reason number two is because it's quiet, right? I pretty much any time, um, and you know, not really hear much of anything at all. You know, there's some barking dogs, of course. There's a little bit of traffic once in a while. I've got a sort of a highway um, about a half a mile away or so. So that, you know, there's traffic on that. It's, you know, but it's a 2-lane thing, you know, nothing big. So yeah, yeah. But tonight here, I can sort of say finally, it is not clear. And so, yeah, I'm sitting in the nice, comfy office here, uh, sharing the passion, right? You know, thinking astronomy, doing astronomy, science, space stuff, nerdy stuff, and you know, this live stream is for everyone, right? So whether you're new or a pro or anywhere in that realm, you are extremely welcome to come in here anytime. And, you know, this is a daily live stream, so you can feel free to come in anytime you want. Don't feel as though, you know, you have to come in, you know, each day. It'd be absolutely fantastic if you do, but if you come in every day, every week, every month, every year, that's cool. Just come on in, be prepared to get, you know, completely bombarded with all things astronomy and space and science stuff and all kinds of nerdy things. So yeah, I'm just here sharing a passion. I mean, I've done astronomy my, you know, my entire life, and I just like to share the passion and all that. So yeah, I've had some little bit of a roller coaster with the telescope system these past few days. Um,
And before you continue, Cosmic, I just want to apologize
yeah.
for not being here yesterday. I was doing a WWE pay-per-view viewing party.
Well, were you having fun?
Oh yeah, we it's
Well,
the like the Royal Rumble.
uh-huh.
Very fun.
Yeah. See, that is my most important thing, right? No matter what you're doing, where you are, it doesn't have to be here, but as long as you're having fun, I think that is absolutely awesome, absolutely great. So that's what it's all about, and yeah, yeah, you know, this live stream I think is a lot of fun. I mean, I'm having a lot of fun with it. Been doing it just a little bit over a year now or so, and not tired of it, not bored with it. I mean, how can I be? You know, the universe is full of the most amazing things in the universe. Yeah, Deep Sky Dude, do you like that? That's now don't consider Nightbot's weather to be official. I'm not quite sure where Nightbot actually guess it's information. Hey there, Tom. I'll show you mine here. My weather. Oh, I've got it. Man, I'm having one of those bad typing days. So let's see what Nightbot says about my my location here. Did I do that right? Yeah. So partly cloudy, a temperature of 50, 35%. That sounds about right now. But I got to tell you, the past several nights, right? I've been finishing up around like 11 o'clock or so p.m. It has been 25 degrees Fahrenheit every single night, and that's just cold. That's just really, really cold.
Yeah, I know. Like for tomorrow stuff, if it would give you like the next day forecast and stuff, it's going to be like It's going to be like freezing, and it's got some rain coming in and stuff.
Yeah, I think you
What's up,
guys.
Tom?
I think you guys east of the Mississippi there are going to get absolutely blasted. So I think us in the West, I think we're pretty safe. But Tom just punched in his weather. He's at 15 Fahrenheit right now, and probably dropping, and 9 mile an hour. So oh, light snow as well. So hey, yeah. Well, 'tis the season, right? So just keep yourself warm.
I was looking at the models earlier on Facebook. Somebody posted the models on Facebook. And they were saying that there was going to be some snow, but the last time I checked, it was going to be like from the like the central and north Louisiana. Nothing too particular in the south. South part of Louisiana.
Well, we will see, because your forecasts, I mean, and I sort of rant about this. The weather people should actually, not only, give us their forecast, but they should present us with how confident they are in the forecast. And there are sort of two problems with that, and I think these two problems is why they really don't do it. First problem is that most people aren't going to understand that, right? If there's a 50% chance of rain, and you're 50% confident in that forecast, I don't think a lot of people are going to really understand that at all. And number two, I think if the meteorologists actually admitted how confident they are in forecasts more than just a couple hours out, they would be thrown out of town, right? Because they just cannot be more than 50% confident past maybe 6 hours, 12 hours or so. So when they're trying to make a week-long forecast, right? Well, that day number 7, way out in the future, their confidence level has to be single digits at least. But if they advertise that, nobody's going to listen to them anymore, right? But that's how it is. That's the reality of things. Anyway, I'm not going to rant about that. What I want to do tonight, since I am sharing my screen only until I get a replacement for my webcam, which should be coming hopefully tomorrow or the next day, is I just wanted to play with some pictures tonight. And I guess I'm wondering, there are lots.
Have you been wanting to find out what's going on with the HiRise and stuff? Well, let's check on that.
On HiRise?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We actually didn't look over there the other day. So, yeah, maybe we can spend a little bit of time doing that, too. There's another really neat piece of news that I just saw actually today. That I've actually been extremely interested in this kind of work that I'm going to show you here in a minute for a very long time. I think it's a very viable method for detecting very small Kuiper belt objects by watching them pass in front of stars. And for some reason, I'm not exactly sure why. So I'm gonna try to follow this story. You know, this just came out today, right? But there's a group of French astronomers. This one lady has she's been working on this for like over 30 years, right? And has never seen anything, right? They've had, possible, detections, but nothing for sure. Well, these guys, which look like they're primarily Japanese, it looks like these guys might have actually seen the first stellar occultation by a relatively small Kuiper belt object. Now, the Kuiper belt is an area of the solar system that is beyond the orbit of Neptune. It's way out there. I think there's a formal definition of the Kuiper belt, but it's way out there, right? And because these objects are so far away, right, they're really hard to see, right? But if they're out there, then in theory, right, they are passing in front of stars all the time, right? And we just don't really know how to look for them, because it's sort of a strange characteristic that you have to look for. It's not sort of your typical kind of thing. The idea is that you should be these things, and they can get actually very small, right? 1 kilometer sizes, right? So to be able to detect a rock 1,000 meter radius from or 60 AU or 200, right? That would be just mind blowing, right? Absolutely mind blowing. Well, these guys claim to have and seen one. The only thing, of course, the paper you have to buy, right? So that's not going to happen here anytime soon. And the abstract here doesn't say anything about how far away they think they.
If there's a possibility, it could be on archive.org.
Yeah, I already looked, and it's not. But I'm going to give this a little bit of time. I think this kind of a paper might be made available. So I'm just going to keep my eyes peeled, and if nothing else, I'm just going to send an email to the author, and usually, the authors will be like, "Wow, you want to read my paper? That's amazing. Here, I'll send it to you." So that's sort of how that's going to go down. But yeah, this technique.
What I think about what I can do if necessary and stuff, and if I can and will afford it, I will definitely will try to help you out.
Oh, Well, Bobby, I appreciate that. I mean, I can afford that too. So that's not it though. It's the principle, right? I'm sort of fighting the principle here. So, fact of the matter is that as far as I know, the authors pay nature and tons of bucks, right, up front, right? And so, that should be enough for these publications, right? They shouldn't have to, uh, uh,
It looks like it's got the email from one of the authors and stuff. The other story don't even have it as well.
yeah. So that's why I say, I'll sort of keep my eyes open, see if this is put, made available. But stellar occultation, is a real thing, right? I mean, it's a real thing. It's happening. But to actually see these kinds of objects, the occultation has special characteristics that you sort of have to look for and be ready for. And I mean, things have to line up just perfectly, right? I mean, it's got to be really, 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 perfectly aligned. And so that's kind of hard. That's kind of hard. But at least according to what they're saying now is that the surface number density of Kuiper belt objects is 600,000 per square degree.
Yeah.
So that's an amazing number, and I mean, the entire sky is something like 44,000 square degrees.
I'd like to welcome Ray Rael into the chat.
Hey there, Ray. Nice to see you in the chats. Nice to see you in the
chat. And
scroll
down to the access options. I want to confirm a check if something like that can be affordable. Yeah, like $9.99. I mean, for $9 for an article.
Yeah. No, I mean, I just sort of object to the entire principle behind that. I think that's absolutely ridiculous, right? That's one of the dumbest things I ever saw. So 44,000 square degrees times that. So we're talking about 26 billion objects. So that's a few. That's a few. Okay, so Bobby, you said that you think that we should go over and take a look at some images. I am gonna there.
Yeah, let's check the HiRise.
Check the HiRise. So this is a camera on the on the Mars reconnaissance orbiter. It's going around Mars, of course, and this is a beautiful, beautiful high-resolution color, well, actually multispectral camera. And so as the spacecraft, as the satellite sort of passes over the surface of Mars, this camera is pointing straight down and taking these amazing pictures. And from time to time they update their catalog, sort of their public catalog. And I like to go through this, I don't know, once every month or once every couple of months, just to sort of see what's new. And there actually are some new ones here. I'm gonna pop over to the chat really quick too, just to make sure. Okay, cool. Very cool. Yeah, you know, the occultation thing, that always gets me really, really excited, because I think that's a frontier that hasn't really been explored all that much. Like I said, you know, there's been this one French team who have been thinking about this and trying to do it for like 30 years and haven't done it yet. So I'm really, really anxious to see, you know, what the response is. And yeah, I'm definitely interested in getting my hands on that paper, which I will. You know, one of the things in astronomy that you have to be is, you know, persistent and stubborn. So, and I can be both of those things if I have to. So, all right, cool. Well, let's just look. So these came in just a few days ago. All right, they were posted, and let's look at some dunes. Let's look at some dunes.
And
so what I like to do is, they've got a whole bunch of data products, right? A whole bunch here, right? They've got all this stuff, and they also have a lot of information about, you know, the pictures, right? When it was acquired, where it is on the planet, how high, you know, the spacecraft was, the resolution is sort of, you know, most interesting thing. So yeah, at least here, you know, we're seeing pixels that are 51.2 centimeters on a side. So, you know, that's a what is that? About 1.5 feet or so in our English scale. You know, so half a meter on a side. So, you know, the size of a small desk, right? I mean, I sort of have a small desk here, so we'd be able to see my desk on 1 pixel there. So that's very cool. Phase angle of the sun. Actually, yeah, you know, I'm not quite sure what the difference between the phase angle and the solar incidence angle is, but there it is. So what I like to do is I just like to look at the non-map JPEG black and white. Don't really worry about colors or anything. This one also is sort of the largest image and all of that. So once this is loaded, we can actually zoom in on it here and dive onto Mars here. So here we go. So here's some amazing looking sand dunes, and now that I remember that I can zoom in with the screen here, man, we can really zoom in. So here, I'm going to zoom back out, and if there's anything incredibly interesting, we can really dive in. So I don't know, you know, if this stuff is intrinsically dark. My guess is that it probably is. I mean, it's just really, really dark. You see how it's so light up here, and then this dark material here, I mean, is definitely significantly darker. But you can also see all the shadows and everything too. But, you know, and one of the first things that I always do, right, is I look down in here, and I sort of, you know, want to imagine walking through these, right, and looking around. Remember that each pixel, right, which is kind of hard to see because I think these are JPEG images, so, you know, they've been messed with a little bit. But every pixel here is just 1/2 of a meter across. So these things are, you know, maybe I don't know, what, 50 meters across, maybe. I mean, you know, not very big, right? So you can always, well, what I like to do, like I said, you know, sort of imagine walking around here, and just imagining what this must look like, you know. I mean, look at all the ripples here. Here's some down here. Let's zoom in on those.
And while you're doing that, I'd like to welcome Space TV. And HiRise is just like one of those orbiters that the University of Arizona sent out to Mars, right?
Yeah, it's run by the U of A. Yeah, yeah, yep. All the data gets sent to them, and they process it. And I am incredibly jealous. But what an amazing place.
Now,
right?
Space TV has a concern about the HiRise. Why aren't they not circulated more in the news and on science sites?
Let me see what Space TV is saying. Are they circulating more in the news and on the science sites? Well, I don't know. You know, I think it's a, you know, HiRise has been going for so long now, that it's sort of, you know, I hate to say it, you know, but it's sort of old news, right? Now, when the InSight lander landed a couple of months ago, right, they used HiRise, and that's correct, Space TV. Yep, you're exactly right. They actually used, you know, these images to locate the lander, and, you know, the parachute and the heat shield and all that.
And the MRR, that's actually called the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, right? Or
correct.
whatever the R is. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, reconnaissance. Yeah.
Reconnaissance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and, you know, that spacecraft actually works as a relay station as well. So you know, the Curiosity rover, that's actually, you know, roving on the surface of Mars, sends all of its data to the reconnaissance spacecraft there, and then it sends that data back to Earth. So yeah, just an amazing spacecraft for sure. Okay, I accidentally zoomed out and zoomed back in. So
now, Space TV has a question. Do you ever check out the images from the lunar reconnaissance orbiter?
Well, you know, we should do that. You know, you know, we're living in such amazingly awesome times, right? There is so much, right? And I mean, I say this over and over and over again. There is so much that I mean, doing a daily live stream is easy, right? The biggest problem I have is you know, out of the thousands and thousands and thousands of things, you know, to go over and, you know, to talk about, what are the one or two things that we're going to do. So, well, Space TV, that sounds like a request. So I need to put that on the list. I think that
maybe it will find Ziggy Stardust and Spiders from Mars. That shows my age, says Ray right now.
Well, Ray, there are spiders on Mars. Have you not seen those? Let's go find some spiders. Okay, there are look, there are these objects that they call spiders. So let's go find some spiders. And then we'll come back to these. But since Ray mentioned them, let's see if I can quickly find them. See, they're getting up to close to 60,000 pictures now, which is absolutely amazing. But yeah, let's find some actual spiders, on Mars. So here's some dust devil tracks. We can look at those too. But let's find the spiders. You know, every single time I try to look for a specific thing, I can never find them. So we just have to sort of page through this.
The search function is not efficient?
Well, I think this search might search the entire site and not just the catalog, but let's do it. Let's do it. Well, okay. My bad. So let's look at this one. See, this one is saying spiders in a variety of terrains. So here we go. I'm going to go right to the black and white JPEG, load up this whole thing. See how these are always in a strip, and that's because the spacecraft is moving, and the HiRise camera is looking straight down, right? It's called the nadir, Nadir, and that's the opposite of the zenith, right? Which is straight up. So here's some spiders on Mars for Ray. So this is what they sort of call spiders. These weird looking. Actually, to me, these look like electrical discharges, right? They look like lightning bolts. That's what they look like to me, at least. But they call them spiders, right? Now, these aren't the best examples, and I don't know if they're calling these spiders or not, but definitely, like, here's one here, right? We can zoom in a little bit on that.
I'd like to welcome Tim Robertson to the chat.
Hey there, Tim. Nice to see you. We're looking at spiders on Mars. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There's spiders on Mars. What do you think? Pretty cool. Yes. So Ray, yes, there are spiders on Mars. David Bowie was right. He was right all along. Anyway, again, what I do is I always sort of project myself onto the surface, right? And so, I'm standing right here and I'm looking around, and what am I seeing, right? What am I seeing? I don't know. But, we do have a rover on the surface of Mars. I don't know if the rover has ever seen any spiders or gone really, really close. Let's go back and look at the metadata for this particular image. All right, so each pixel is about 1 meter in size. All right, so these spiders, say here, right? That's quite a few pixels, right? So we're talking, well, it's hard to tell exactly, but, we're talking at least tens of meters long, right? And, a couple of meters wide, right? So pretty large structures, right? And we're not really seeing a lot of the finer detail, right? We're just seeing all the big stuff, you know, the things, you know, that are 1 meter or larger. But my guess is that this kind of modeling here, right, probably goes down to a very, very small scale. But yeah, so there we go. There's some spiders on Mars. It's one of my favorite Bowie songs of all time. So yeah, really interesting. And you know, I'm also not quite sure if these things are coming out of the ground or, you know, going in. It sort of depends on, you know, the shading, right? If these are coming out of the ground, then I think, you know, the sunlight would be coming from the upper left, and so all the shading is over here, right? But if the sunlight is coming from over here, right, from the lower right, then we're actually looking at these things going down into the ground. Hard to tell, right? It's hard to tell. But yeah, and you know, what is this stuff, right? I mean, some of these things, some of the spiders don't have all this black stuff on it, and some of the spiders do, right? It's like, I mean, obviously, I guess it's obvious, it's a different kind of material, right? But what is it? How did it get there? Why is it accumulating only here? I mean, is this like snow or something? I mean, it's not going to be snow. It's going to be, you know, some kind of dust or dirt or something. But yeah, it's hard to know exactly. I just like to think out loud and wonder about this. Kind of, you know, I mean, I'm sure, you know, these are the kinds of questions that are going through, you know, the Mars heads. But what an amazing terrain too, right? I mean, it's so you know, crinkly, and you know, it sort of looks like a dry lake, right? With all the cracks and stuff. And again, you know, I don't know if these things are going into the surface or if they're coming out. It's really hard to tell.
Okay, so Tim Robinson, would metals on the surface show up as those dark areas?
Don't know. I mean, obviously, you know, it's a different kind of material. This is, you know, sort of a visible light camera, right? I mean, it's grayscale, but I'm pretty sure, you know, they're looking in sort of the visible range. So, you know, this isn't X-ray or, you know, towards the infrared or that. You know, these are visible wavelengths. So, yeah, you know, as I said, you know,
and Ray Rael looks like a dirty speck of ceiling with black mold on the tiles.
Yeah.
Could have been worse, like it could have been checkers and stuff on the ceiling.
Yeah. So here's more of a colored view, right? Probably not true color, but a little bit more of a colored view. Let's see what else do they have here. Well, let's look at a couple of these just for fun. Yeah, see, I mean, some of them are colored and some of them aren't. That's why I sort of like just sort of the raw ones there. So, okay, well, cool. Let's go back to where we were, which was way at the beginning here.
I want to look at that impact near the South Pole and stuff.
That one?
Yeah.
All right. So, these impacts are now going to actually be detected by the seismometer that the InSight lander has. So that is going to be very, very cool. We're actually going to be able to sense these impacts. So there's obviously the impact right there, but I'm going to start up here again. I like to sort of, scan the whole thing. So, man, that just amazing, right? I mean, it looks like snow. I mean, it's not. It's just really, really smooth. But okay, there's the impact there. Let's we can sort of zoom in on that. That's a pretty nice one, gotta say. We'll zoom in on that really, really nice and close here. Whoop. There we go. So, well, it sort of looks like, right, when this thing hit, it just blew all this stuff out. For sure. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. It's the crater is relatively round, but the spray, right? The spray is not incredibly symmetrical, right? Some places it blows out a little bit more than others. So, yeah, I don't know how far all of this goes out. I mean, obviously, there was probably a shock wave and everything else too. I would also think that this would probably be sort of an older impact, maybe nothing incredibly new. I'm also wondering if all these are little impacts. Let's zoom back in. I don't know if we can.
Deep Sky Goo, he caught that crater from the impact he caught during the lunar eclipse.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Just for the record, as far as I know, I don't think that they've confirmed that it was any kind of an impact. I mean, what we saw, right? What we saw was a flash, right? Which was probably an impact, probably. But we're actually going to have to use the lunar reconnaissance spacecraft to look in that location.
Yeah,
and see if there's a crater or not.
Yeah, reconnaissance. So, I always get that word messed up. Reconnaissance.
Recon. Yeah.
Now I think I could get recon but not reconnaissance.
Well, recon is good enough. So yeah, here's more of that, darkish material. Hard to know if it's the same as, what's with the dunes and stuff, but look how cracked. And, like I said, to me, this looks like some kind of an electrical discharge, right? I mean, it looks like a bunch of lightning bolts. But, I mean, things drying out and cracking look similar. So this might be evidence, for past water. Don't know. I don't think anybody really knows.
Yeah. I don't know about to answer your question if it costs would check the chat of the latest message from Deep Sky Dude. But when I was decoding the shortwave radiogram show, you gotta have a special decoder to get the text and images on that program. But they were talking about having 3D printed moon bases coming soon.
Sweet. Can't wait. That sounds good. Yeah. I really wouldn't be too surprised if we did have an actual moon base. I mean, I don't know why that's so exciting and such a big deal. You know, we you know um, visited there 50 years ago, and then have done nothing since. I have my doubts about that. I have my doubts. So you know, if there's a moon base up there, good for them. You know, I hope they're having a good time. I hope, you know, they I mean, you know, people involved in that. I'm incredibly envious, right? I mean, I'd want to do that, right? So you know, I definitely hope you're having a good time. You know, if they have to keep it a secret, I hope it's a good reason, right? And not something stupid, right? Lots of secrets are.
Yeah, he was here, and Pete says it was up there taking a picture of the eclipse.
What's that?
Yeah, check the chat.
Okay, yeah, you know, I mean, in impact, there's no evidence of that yet. So I mean, was a flash. So, you know, that's it. That's it. So yeah. Well, Deep Sky Dude, I am writing a white paper right now to actually do that very thing. I want to put a telescope on the moon with a high definition video camera to provide a live feed of the Earth, a lunar eclipse. And if you're interested in working with me on that, send me an email, cosmiclettuce@gmail.com. There is a group. It's called the International Lunar Observatory. I'm trying to think of it. It's ILOA, International Lunar Observatory Association, ILOA. And these guys are supposedly putting a telescope on the moon. They are going to hitch a ride with Mars Express, which is putting, they're going to land a spacecraft near the southern pole. We can pop that up. I have contacted these guys, and I did have to poke them a couple times in order to actually respond. But they're not being incredibly responsive. And of course, my thing is loading really, really slowly, so maybe we're not going to do that. But I'm developing a plan to do that, because I think that would be very, very, very cool. And I think the entire world would want to see that, because what you would see looking at the Earth during a lunar eclipse is, of course, a dark Earth, a new Earth, right? You could very likely see some of the lights, you know, from like the cities and all of that, but the entire way around the Earth, you would see this incredibly intense sunset red ring all the way around the Earth, right? And I think that would capture the imagination of the entire planet, especially.
And is it a stupid idea? It would be possible to have a camera live streaming from the moon.
That's exactly what I want to do, and I don't think it's a stupid idea at all. I think it's absolutely fantastic. But you know, I want that, and I want a telescope there too. You know, the Chinese have a telescope on the moon right now, and that's been running since 2014, and it's still running. They've actually observed 6 lunar eclipses, and I've seen no pictures of them at all, none at all. But you know,
it shows you that the Chinese don't want you to look at that information and stuff, like the Great Wall of China and the Great Firewall of China and stuff.
Well, is it that the Chinese don't want us to see it, or somebody else doesn't want us to see it? I don't know.
Like the government and stuff, you know, like how super restricted the Chinese government really is.
Well, all governments are super restrictive. So I don't know if it's them or somebody else, but anyway, anybody who you know would like to help me with this project, I want to put this on a fast track. There's a lunar eclipse on I believe it's May 26th, 2021, and from the moon, the eclipse, you know, the Earth passing right in front of the sun is going to be positioned right between the Hyades and the Pleiades. It is going to be $1 million shot, and so I mean, you know, that's only a couple years, so I don't know how realistic that is, but I want to come up with a plan, and I want to do it. You know, I mean, we can land telescopes, you know, to the moon for sure, right? You know, the Chinese have done that already. SpaceX can land rockets anywhere, right? And it doesn't have to be big, right? I mean, it can be a CubeSat, right? I mean, it can be a little tiny thing. And no, there are some obstacles, but I think it can be done. And I think where there's a will, there's a way. Anyway, let's get back to Mars. Oh, here's the International Lunar Observatory Association. All right, so check them out. I will copy them into the chat really quick here. So, but they're moving at what I consider to be a snail's pace, right? I mean, they've been studying this and thinking about this for over 10 years, right? And I'm like, dude, let's go do this, right? This is way too cool. This is way too cool. So, like I said,
what a great retardation are you waiting for?
Well, you know, I don't know, and you know, maybe there are some complications that I'm just not aware of. Showstoppers almost, but I think.
I mean, if you could build a very good orbiting telescope, that'll be guaranteed. You will build a lunar telescope and do whatever you want with it.
Yeah. And like I said, I mean, I want to have one telescope that is sort of for lunar eclipses, right? So have some kind of telephoto lens that has a high definition camera on it. And then I want a separate telescope that can do all the astronomical observations all the rest of the time, right? And it doesn't have to be all that big. I mean, it doesn't have to be all that big. Anyway, I digress. Let's take a look at the South Pole residual cap here. These are really amazing looking most of the time. And Not too bad. Not too bad. Again, you know, imagine walking around in these things, right? Climbing up these things. You know, these are pretty high though, right? These are probably, let's look at the pixel scale. Okay, so 1/2 meter again, right? 1/2 meter. So you know, these walls here are probably, you know, at least several meters high, right? So you can't just sort of, you know, walk over to them or anything. You're going to have to do some climbing, right? You know, these are pretty high and they're pretty steep too, right? So you got to be careful, right? But it's sort of like a maze, right? I mean, get in here.
Deep Sky Dude. Take care.
Thanks, Deep Sky Dude. We'll check you out later. Glad you could come in. But yeah, you know, sort of like a little maze. You're walking through all this stuff and you sort of get stuck, and so you got to go back and all that. In fact, you know, that's not a bad idea. You know, we should make a maze game out of this. See how it changes.
Would be one heck of a maze game.
Yeah, well, you know what? Let's save this, and I'll show you what we can do, like really rapidly here. 19, we can do this thing called edge detection. Show in folder. So I'm going to open up GIMP, my favorite Photoshop-like thingy. And we can do some simple, which, as the name implies, finds all the edges, right? So let's just take a portion of this, right? I'm going to cut out just a random area, right? Doesn't really matter what it is, right? That's still pretty big. Okay, and let's turn it into an RGB just for fun. I think the edge detection won't have any problem, and let's do a Sobel edge detection algorithm here, and just sort of see what that does. Okay, well, that didn't do exactly what I thought it would do. Let's do a different one. Does that make any difference? That might not be exactly the right one to use, but
I think it'd be better off if you make them as jigsaw puzzles than Tim Robinson.
Yeah, you know what, Tim? I think you've hit on a business idea there. You know, these images are publicly available to do whatever you want with them, right? So turning these into a jigsaw puzzle, oh my God, yes, that's a great idea. I like it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I like it. You know, turn this into a jigsaw. In fact, I think there is a jigsaw function on here somewhere, if I remember right. I'm not gonna. I may not be able to find it if I'm trying to hurry to find it here. Let's see. The pattern. Oh, well, there's a jigsaw thing. Let's turn this back into an RGB. Oh, where do we see that? Pattern, jigsaw. Here we go. Jigsaw style. Let's go curved like that. Let's see. Bevel edges. I don't know exactly what this is going to look like. And yeah, see, this is gonna, it's not gonna be, let's see, are we doing the whole thing? Oh, let's just do a portion of it again. So we'll just grab this chunk here, because otherwise that's gonna be insane. Where is it? Pattern, jigsaw.
There's a maze function. I found a maze function in GIMP.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay, well, that's kind of hard to see, but sort of get the idea there. Let's go back to jigsaw, and we'll do, let's make it, oh, one by one. Let's go this way. So, yeah, let's make it like 12 by 14. Bevel width. There we go. So there's our jigsaw again.
If there's a software to make an image into a jigsaw you can put together on the screen.
Of course there is, yeah. Yeah. Let's see what this maze thing is, since you mentioned it. I've never played with this, so let's just use the defaults here and see what it does. Oh, okay. So it just turned it into a maze. Huh. That's not incredibly interesting. Grid. Anyway, so yeah, we could definitely turn this into a jigsaw puzzle. That would be very, very cool. That would be very, very cool. All right. All right. Well, that's fun. I like it. Tim, let's talk about that. I mean, I'm actually, 3/4 serious about that. That's, I think that'd be great. Yeah. Okay. For the last hurrah, let's go look at some so-called dust devil paths. Now, I don't know if they've actually seen these being formed, all right? But I guess they're monitoring them, and monitoring, to me, sort of implies that they're seeing some changes. What you have to do, right, is you have to look at the same place over and over and over again and see if there are any kinds of changes. Let's get the pixel scale again here. Okay, so these are 25 centimeter pixels. All right, so these are high resolution images here. Look at all those. Now, as soon as I zoom this in, it's going to be amazing looking. Look at that. Now that would make a great jigsaw puzzle.
Okay, so I guess it will make a good jigsaw puzzle, but will it make a good maze thing?
That would definitely not make a good maze, I don't think. But these, this thing is pretty wide, right? I mean, if every pixel is, 25 centimeters, these are, tens of meters wide here, the widest one. But look at all these little things. Look at that. All these crossed right at that point. What's that all about? So, look, the skeptic in me looks at this and says, is this all caused by dust devils? I mean, really? I don't know. So here's some boulders, right? And again, these are at least several pixels in size. right? Let's zoom in on these a little bit here. So these are pretty sizable rocks, right? It's something that you could definitely like stand on, these things, right? So these are pretty big, and so these dust devil paths are very large structures, right? But really, are these dust devil paths? I don't know. I think, and I mean, every single time I look at these, I think almost exactly the same thing, and that is what we should do, right? Is we should look at this, grab this image, and then go find a past image of the same area, and try to do a comparison and see if there are any new ones, right? If there are, then okay, I don't have to be, as much of a skeptic. But, regardless of what causes these things, I think these are some of the most amazing things I've ever seen. I think they're just incredible. I mean, look at the detail. And look at all the boulders here too. It's really cool. Let's I sort of like this one over here. Look at this one. Very cool. Yeah, pretty amazing. Dust devils paths, supposedly.
Tim Robbins said if those are from dust devils, some of them would have been very, very big.
Yeah, they have to be very big. But Tim, consider the fact that the atmosphere of Mars is very different than Earth. And Tim, do you get dust devils in the UK? I don't know. Mm-hmm. They're extremely common here where I am. I see a dust devil almost every day, right? I very, very, very rarely see anything larger, than just a couple of meters across, right? I mean, a big dust devil here might be 5 meters across. That's a big one, right?
But definitely knock a satellite system out of the equation for sure.
Yeah. So but the atmosphere of Mars is much thinner, less pressure. It's made of different. I mean, the atmosphere of Mars is almost entirely carbon dioxide, CO2.
And Tim Robinson is very, very aware. He saw it like one time in a playground. It was a sand-covered playground.
Okay, yeah.
And speaking of like dust devils and like sand tornadoes, when it gets like really, really windy, every once in a while when there's like dirt and stuff, and it really becomes like a little tornado style and stuff. I caught one time and blew my hat off. I was wearing a hat one time.
Well, if you're ever near a dust devil, you'll think twice about wanting to be around them again. Look at this one. It looks like it just swirled and swirled and swirled and swirled and swirled. Look at that. Ring, 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 ring. Wow. That's amazing. So, that's why I say it's like, are these really caused by dust devils? I mean, theory is, right, is that you have this thin layer, this bright material on top of the surface, and then you have dust devil blow through, which sort of blows all that stuff away. underneath. But I don't know. But like I said, you know, if nothing else, these are absolutely beautiful, right? Just incredible. Just incredible. All right, well, cool. Yeah, I think we should make some crossword puzzles out of these. Yeah, you know, I'm going to look into that. I think that's a great idea. I think it's a great idea. All right, cool. Wow, this is a big picture. Look at that. It's just amazing. I think I'm zoomed in a little bit here too. Oh yeah, I am. There's a crater, supposedly a crater. Here's a little curly Q one there. Here's that big one. Look at that. That was quite an event, I would have to say. Here's a boulder field here. It's kind of cool. Lots of boulders right there. Now, how come there's so many here and nowhere else? What's so special about right there, where all the boulders want to accumulate? Don't know, right? I mean, is this a lower area or maybe a higher area? I don't know. So many questions. That's one of the cool things about science, is that the more you find out, the more questions you have. All right, everybody. Well, I'm noticing that it's about 3:17 UTC, so I think I'm going to let you all go for now. So hopefully, not that it matters much, but hopefully tomorrow I'll have my webcam back up and running. Yeah, we're just going to do more astronomical things. Never really know.
Ray Mayo has a question about your avatar on YouTube. If you check the chat.
Oh, the avatar. Yeah. That is the Fool. That is the Fool, Ray. That is probably the most accurate description of me that is possible. So check out what the Fool is, and you'll learn a lot about me that way, for sure. I don't have to say anything at all, because it's all right there. So yeah. I'm not really interested in tarot or anything. I mean, like a lot of things, I think it's an interesting tool, but I just like the description that very, very, very much describes me. That's sort of the closest that I've ever found to saying, wow. It's like, wow, that's me. So yeah, that's where that's from, and I think that's from one of the classic tarot decks. There are thousands and thousands of tarot decks. That's also card 0, right? That's also card 0, which yeah, that's another deep dive into my head too. So yeah. All righty. Well, as I said, I'm going to get out of here for now. It's supposed to be cloudy over the next several days. And, I'm sort of re-evaluating my whole program. I'm sort of going back into the engineering mode, because I have to resolve my telescope problem one way or another, right? So observing you know, and actually collecting data is sort of on hold until I resolve this problem. So, but yeah, I think it's supposed to be cloudy here for the next several days. So that means I will be here, hopefully with a webcam, either tomorrow or the next day. We will, you know, just continue this crazy adventure together. So, all right. Well, until then, everyone, I bid you a good evening and a good day, and I will see you, hopefully, in a little less than 24 hours from now, or 23 hours from now. All right. Take care, everybody. See you later. Bye.
Later.